All right, happy Thursday night, everybody. Welcome on into the daily broadcast. Coming to you tonight here at the home offices of theraiderland.com, brought to you by United Supermarkets, Market Street. All the communication coming to you from Market Street, United Supermarkets. And of course, Gators Bayou. If you're going out tonight looking for some hot Cajun food, some cold drinks, you know where to go. 98th and Slide. Tell them we said hello. And of course, the Shropshire Agency in 2025 insurance needs. You got them, they'll take care of them. Get it done with the Shropshire Agency, independent, just like all great West Texans here in Lubbock. All right, let's go. What are we doing tonight? Men's basketball. They got issues. They got NCAA tournament issues right now. We'll talk about that tonight. We'll get your thoughts. It's been a couple of days since the loss to UCF. You got the Utah swing coming up. This team is not a bubble team in the NCAA tournament right now. They're outside the bubble. Can they make it? Is this a team that the parts are really good, the sum of the parts aren't translating right now? What do you think's wrong? Arizona State, thank you very much yesterday. Big 12 belonged. In fact, the Big 12 probably should have had two teams in there with BYU. Your thoughts on that game? And then overrated, underrated, rated right Thursday. I had to check the calendar. It is Thursday. So we do our ratings on Thursday. Let's go all-time college football coaches. A lot of talk about football coaches and what they can do and what they can't do right now. The coaches that you consider overrated, underrated, and rated just right in the middle. Who would those be? And yeah, we'll talk about Barry Switzer. Why not? All right, in 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com, where you start your day every day on the website. We give you the Raiderland hot links. We give you all the cool questions. We let you jump in, get your comments going. Love it. Fantastic. You go there, theraiderland.com. We already mentioned Gators Bayou. We talked about the Shropshire Agency. Tonight, we visit with you on this second day of January. Glad to get things going in a new year here in Raiderland. Whether you are on YouTube, or Twitter X, or on Facebook Live, you get to chat with us. It's easy thanks to United Supermarkets and Market Street. Now, I highly recommend going in with a list. Otherwise, you get like me and you start wandering around and go, I got to have that. I need that. I got to get that. I probably really shouldn't tell you guys that they probably like that. Thanks to United Supermarkets, there's one grocery store in Lubbock in West Texas and beyond that sends their money down the street to Texas Tech. There's another one that comes in here in West Texas, and they're on the scoreboard in Austin. You guys can guess which one. Overrated, underrated, rated right college football coaches all time. Who you got for me? Jimmy Johnson, Barry Switzer, Bear Bryant. What if we confined it to the state of Texas? The overrated, underrated, rated right coaches all time, the state of Texas, not UT, state of Texas. And then obviously college football playoff, everything else. Where are we right now? 23-10, under a minute to go. No, a minute and 6 to go. Notre Dame going to take down the Bulldogs of Georgia, the Fighting Irish, who many people said shouldn't be in. They can't get in. They don't play anybody. Where you got it? What do you got for me tonight? Let's get it going. Let's see. Robert Christopher checking in on our Facebook page. We appreciate everybody. It doesn't cost nothing to go to Facebook. Everybody on Facebook and Twitter, go to our YouTube channel, like it, subscribe. You don't have to watch there, but just subscribe. It drives it. 1, 2, 3, 4. The conference champions ain't no more. Imagine that. They kind of got it wrong. Wow. What does that mean going forward? It means 16-team playoff next year. Let's get it going. CJ, Bo, and this is where I hope this is like voice to text or something. I'm assuming this is Bo Schembechler, the former coach at University of Michigan. Bo Schembechler in the 10-year war there in 1970s with him and Ohio State and Woody Hayes. I assume that's Bo Schembechler. And then he would kind of get fired and run out at Michigan. He would take over the Detroit Tigers Major League Baseball team, and he would run out Ernie Harwell as the announcer, and everybody loved Ernie Harwell, and they turned on Bo Schembechler, and he was gone. Chris, yes, this team is in trouble for the tourney. Abysmal non-conference schedule, brutal Big 12. Yeah. You're talking about Tech basketball right now. Can I, again, gently encourage you folks? And where are my Twitter people, by the way, getting in on the comments? You can do it thanks to United Supermarkets. Where are my YouTube channel people? What the hell's going on? Jump in here. Let's get it going. Tech basketball had a horrible non-conference schedule. Now, some of the teams they scheduled probably didn't live up to expectations, but that's not the big part of it. They just didn't schedule much because they didn't know what they had. I get it. I understand that. Let's put that in a box right now. You have no quad 1, quad 2 wins right now. And the Big 12 is not down, but it's down in perception because of the way the SEC is dominating the metrics right now. So you have no quad 1, quad 2 wins. Your HD, hoopshd.com number. And again, I'm saying, if you people follow the net and the KenPom stuff and you think that means something, it means nothing. Follow two things. hoopshd.com. Brackettville.wordpress.com. That's it. Go see where Tech is every day there. You will understand exactly the reality of the situation. But I watch this team and I look at a team and I go, they may have the best parts of any team that we've seen over the last 5, 6, 7 years. And I know that goes back to 2019, but the sum of the parts are not equaling what you want to see. Part of that is that you've had injuries. You didn't have JT Toppin for most of December. They're still trying to learn how to play together. But they're in a bad spot right now, and it ain't good. And when your Hoops HD number is 70, that means you're about 30 spots, 30 teams ahead of you to try to get to the NCAA tournament. You got a lot of work to do. A lot. All right. Overrated, underrated, rated right. College football coaches all time. The overrated coaches, the underrated coaches. Where would you rate, I don't know, Nick Saban? Is he overrated, underrated, rated right? Bear Bryant, Jimmy Johnson, Barry Switzer. All he ever did was win, but we think he's a clown, right? You know? What about the current guys? Kirby Smart? Oh, wait, no, he just got me. Robert Christopher is on Facebook. That is a portal to the show. For the record, I'm not against the conference champs getting the top seeds. I'm against the SEC and Big Ten thinking that only their champs are worthy. It's their show. It's their tournament. Until you break it away from that, it don't matter. And there's a lot of people wondering if they're just going to go, we're not going to invite anybody else in. We're going to start our own between our two conferences, and we're going to create the AFL and the NFL and hang the rest. And if we get one network to go for it, ESPN, if we get one network to go for it, and we tell them that this is the NFL version of college football, and all you need is 16 teams here, 16 teams here. Now, that doesn't go across America, but ratings out west for college football don't matter. Sad but true. You get on the other side of the Rocky Mountains, and it really just doesn't matter. So if you have the Heartland, and if you have the Southeastern Coast, and whatever else you get, that might just be enough. Scary thought, isn't it? Chris, I think there's an extremely large chance this team starts off 0-4, even worse in conference play. I don't see that. You got the Utah swing. I think you're going to get one. Is it heck, I got to get up and look now. Now, ASU, and then Kansas State. No, sorry. Got a big calendar over there, but it's not big enough to see from here. I don't think they're going to go 0-4. They're going to get one. This team is not a bad team. That's what's kind of staggering right now about where they are. They're not a bad team at all. Talking about Texas basketball, Texas Tech basketball, if you're just getting in. Maybe if they play 3 or 4 games in a row with everybody out there, it looks a little different. The defense, or lack thereof, was alarming, but also that New Year's Eve day game is just a game I don't want to play at all from a college basketball standpoint. But you played it, you had to play it. I thought Grant McCaslin was really nice. He credited the crowd early in his press conference about how important they were and everything. For the most part, during the day, the crowd was non existent. Now, the team didn't give you much. They weren't down big, but yeah, it's a dead day to play. Oh, hi there. How you doing tonight? Welcome into the daily broadcast brought to you in part by Gators Bayou in Lubbock, Texas. Hot Cajun food, cold drinks, 98th and Slide. Also by the Shropshire Agency, independent, just like West Texans, right here in Lubbock. Find out what they can do for you in 2025. Check out their Facebook page. They're really active in the Lubbock community doing all sorts of cool things. Please go there. And if you guys want to do something for our friends out there that sponsor this tonight, everybody who's watching, get on Facebook. They've all got Facebook pages, and go there. And independent of anybody else, just say, hey, thanks for supporting Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Thanks. We appreciate it. You know, it's good. The defense is extremely concerning. Is there another kind? Yes. And I think even right now, McCaslin is kind of grasping at straws, trying to figure out why. Because it's an athletic team. They should defend better. You should get to shooters a little bit better. Cut off cuts, all the things. We don't have to go through that. I don't know. I don't know why they're not better right now. Other than the fact that every year now, you're kind of throwing together a bunch of players and saying, all right, play together. Make it work. And sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes it does. You're not alone, though, so that's the deal. So while you have a Hoops HD number of 70, there's 69 teams out there that are doing it better than you right now. I was really hoping by now David Collier from KMAC 28 Red Raider Nation would jump in and talk about Barry Switzer. The over-underrated right topic today. They're on the website, theraiderland.com. We started in the morning. We give you commentary, theraiderland.com. Then we come back here in the night, and we go live with you, and we're going back and forth. But this morning we ask you, the overrated, underrated, rated right, college football coaches all time. Who gets too much respect? Who doesn't get enough respect? If you were looking at college football coaches all time in the state of Texas, who would you say is over, under, and rated right? From Darrell Royal to Gene Stallings at Texas A&M, Spike Dykes at Texas Tech, Sonny Dykes coaching in a national championship game at TCU, Mac Brown, Mike Leach. Who am I leaving out right now? I don't know. We got people. So how do you rate them? How would you rank the coaches? I was watching the 84 Orange Bowl highlights earlier today. God, it was glorious. Sat there that night at home watching it, having to go to school, I think, the very next day, like on January 2nd or 3rd. Sucked. Orange Bowl, we hated it. Orange Bowl was on, you knew it was over. And that's the one where Nebraska goes for 2 to try to win it. They don't get it. Coming back on Miami. The Dean Stein cooler, Fumble Ruski, all that sort of stuff. There he is, just like on cue, as if we summoned him up. Barry. Over, underrated, right. Barry Switzer. Dude wins championships in college football, NFL, and people think he's just a stumbling, bumbling, rumbling idiot, like a kid going for ice cream after the ice cream truck on a hot August day. R.C. Slocum, underrated. I would probably give you underrated on that. I mean, A&M just hated winning 10 games a year back when that meant something. We got to get rid of him. Michael, Raiderland helmet sticker to Cam Scattaboo. That was an entertaining performance. If he could kick field goals, and he probably can, might have been different. Lou Holtz gets a reference. I wasn't prepared for Lou Holtz, whether it was Arkansas Lou Holtz or Minnesota or Notre Dame or South Carolina, for that matter. Trying to think, where else did he coach in college? I was not waiting for a Lou Holtz. I think maybe Lou might be underrated. Thuffer and Thuckatash. Those fellows at Northwestern can play. He always sounded like Sylvester. I might go underrated on Lou Holtz. Collier says Coach Ed Straight Arrow Gennaro at Texas State. I mean, that's why they brought him in. Straight Arrow, coming off the controversy, as we all know, there at Texas State in the fighting armadillos. And you knew he was going to get that program right if he hadn't had the damn health issues, you know. But brought in a fantastic kicker. What more do you want right there? Judgment in receiving core, substandard. Featherstone, not good at all. But Ed Gennaro, you knew you were going to play by the rules. Lane Kiffin, overrated. Yeah. He would probably tell you he's overrated. Mark, if not for the non-call on targeting, there would be no SEC team left. We could say that. We can say they would have. Obviously, it impacts the game. We don't know for sure what happens there, but yeah. And I really don't know how to even discuss it. It's targeting. The hit was targeting by rule, by definition. Almost every legitimate outlet, that talks to anybody, it's targeting. The dumbest thing I've heard is, well, you just can't call it in that situation. Then why do we have rules, right? But yeah, it was, and it wasn't called. And hey, welcome to the TV show that is the College Football Playoff, brought to you by the Big Ten and the SEC and ESPN. And it's got all sorts of cool and controversial plot lines, just like every great TV show. And everybody responded to it. Yeah, it's targeting. I don't know what happens after that. You don't know what's going to happen after that. But yeah, it's targeting. The fact that it wasn't called, though, just lends itself to the whole idea that this thing is gamed, not fixed, gamed. Two totally different things in a certain direction. But that they couldn't call it, pretty brutal. Let's see what David Carter has to say. He was on TV earlier, It was targeting, but to say Arizona State was going to kick a field goal to win it. Don't forget they had open tryouts for a kicker during the season. Not once, but twice they had open tryouts. And again, if Cam Scatteraboo could kick, he would have been doing it. And I agree with that it's not a given that they win. That's where I disagree with the people that say, oh, it would have changed the outcome completely. No, but I wanted to see how the movie was going to end. Funny, the UT's kicker is named Auburn. Is it? Is it? Maybe. Like to welcome everybody in who is on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, and everything else. Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate the conversation. United Supermarkets takes care of all of the communication transactions. So if you're in West Texas, you got a Market Street around you, you know where to go and shop. Tell them thanks for being out there. Not hard to do. Overrated, underrated, rated right. College football coaches all time. Tech men's basketball on your mind. They're on the outside, way on the outside, looking in, and they got work to do in the Big 12. And a lot of people seem to think that you just show up at the Big 12 and play games, and your RPI number, and we still use that because people understand it, not you. You guys are smart. That you just by being in the Big 12 and we're playing games now, no, it doesn't work that way. Didn't work that way. Yeah, Texas State kicker, Armadillo's kicker, Ireland. Charles, something like that. Caddy, something, Ireland. Arizona State shouldn't have blitzed the house on 4th and 13. Yeah. What are you? Ireland. We like Ireland. They had a good announcer for that team, but I mean, they didn't even have a radio contract. That's what's so funny. They had the guy doing play-by-play in the stadium. Poor guy doing, like PA announcing, and then you're listening to it in the dorms. Now, that was a failing right there, I thought, at Texas State, which is really kind of funny because Texas State, AK North Texas, one of the great mass comm, RTF is what we used to call it, radio, television, film. And University of North Texas State, whatever you want to call it, one of the great RTF programs going back into the 60s and 70s and churned out a lot of high profile sports broadcasters in this state. By the way, Craig Way started at Texas Tech. One semester failed out. He had to go somewhere else. The Gentle Musers, as some may know, they're on the ticket. Anyhow, I always thought it was kind of funny that here was this great RTF program that the movie is modeled around, and they don't have K University of North Texas Radio. Unnecessary Roughness Bowl is actually tomorrow. Who's in it this year? I don't even know. Good Lord. They should actually wrap themselves around that, Collier. The way the Pop-Tart Bowl has done it, everything else. Oh, man, I'm late to this. How many people we got? We still got a lot of people watching. We get a lot of people late. We get a lot of people in. This is your prize to you. So I got a friend. Yeah, North Texas and Texas State. Good Lord. That is not a bowl game. All right, so I've got a buddy, Lance King. Lance is still the king. I got to give him full credit. So about a week or so ago, he's railing against, all the opt-outs and all the transfers and the transfer portal and all these players in the portal before the bowl game. He said, you know what they ought to do? I said, what they ought to do is they ought to have a bowl game for the portal. I said, I'm listening. Keep talking. By the way, happy 9th day of Christmas, Dallin Corbin, the only one I know out there still celebrating the 12 days of Christmas. I'm like, I'm all ears. Start talking. So here's what you do. And this is brilliant. It's beautiful. All the all-star games have died in college football. We used to have all sorts of postseason all-star games, Senior Bowl and everything else. And I know some tech guys are going to that, but stay with me. So you take everybody who's in the portal, all the players in the portal, and you divide them up east, west, north, south. You could play like a portal championship tournament. But you play a bowl game that it's nothing but guys in the portal. Again, remember the blue-gray game on Christmas morning in Mobile, Alabama? Of course you do. You know what I'm talking about. If you were a child of the 70s and 80s, there are numerous pictures of Christmas morning, opening packages and everything, and the TV is on in the background. And it's the blue-gray game. So you have the Portal Bowl each year, divided up geographically. Now, who's going to go? Well, this is stupid. How are they going to play? Who's going to? No. It's an all-star game of portal people. Well, who's going to coach? Fired coaches. What do you have in December every year? You have fired coaches. Tim DeRuyter could have been coaching in the Portal Bowl with all the guys that were in the portal. Any of the other head coaches or otherwise that are getting canned. You've got coaches who are looking for jobs. You've got players who are looking for jobs. It's beautiful. The Portal Bowl. Now, who would sponsor the Portal Bowl? I'll let you guys work on that in the next minute or so before we get out of here. But hat tip Lance King, because I think it could really happen. We already see this, by the way, in basketball. In the spring, when players are hitting the portal and transfer stuff in basketball, they play in showcase tournaments in late March and early April. And you've also got high school players that do this and everything else. That's all this is. This is sort of like a combine for portal players. And with the death of the NCAA And the players now are no longer, they don't belong to anybody. You're just a dude playing a game. You go work out somewhere for a week with college coaches, showing off your talents. The Portal Bowl could probably become one of the biggest bowls out there. Remember, you heard it here first. Thank you, Lance King. Overrated. Sarkeesian, Riley, Hogerson, rated. I assume that's rated right. Sweeney, Snyder, Stoops, underrated. Dion McGuire, wishful thinking. Joseph, most overrated coach, Tuberville. Most underrated, Bill, what's his name for Kansas? Snyder? The U-Haul Portal Bowl. There you go. So we got a sponsor already. That's you, my U-Haul. You guys think this is kind of funny. I'm serious. If this keeps up, it makes a tremendous amount of, I think, sense and success for sponsors and coaches and players that you have. I mean, out of Arkansas and Texas Tech alone, you had one team right there of guys who weren't there. You still lost to those people. Yeah, don't get me started. Don't get me started. All right, we're about to get out of here. I'm going to ask you guys to do one thing for us to start the year each and every day on the broadcast. If you like what we do, share it with your friends. Share this on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it on our YouTube channel. If you watch on anything other than YouTube, that's great. But go to YouTube, sign up, subscribe. Don't cost nothing. And everybody on YouTube like it. But we're trying to grow it. The YouTube thing is really big for us right now. I'm not going to lie. If we get over 500, it really explodes and gets the algorithm going. We're at like 440 or something right now, which is great. Most people would kill to have that. But we need the extra 60 right now. So all the people on Facebook and Twitter, all you thousands of people out there, just go over there, click it. That's fine. You don't have to do anything. You can watch it wherever you want to. But if you can share that, then go to our sponsors on their social media feeds and tell them thanks. Like I said tonight, Gators Bayou. You can hit them up and say thanks for sponsoring Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. We appreciate it. We're out here. Can't wait to go there and have some good Cajun food. Shropshire Agency, same thing. Do that. United Supermarkets. You know, it's kind of awkward when you're going through the line paying out, you know, and telling that 18-year-old checker dude, hey, man, thanks for being a part of Ryan Hyatt's deal. He's like, do you want some stamps or ice? And it gets weird. But you can go on their Facebook pages. You can do that sort of stuff. That would be really cool. Or you can just go over to, Red Raider Nation and David Collier's page and just tell him thanks for being on here too. Friday, most Texan thing you have done this week. We're going to wrap it up with a huge Friday show tomorrow. And I don't know what the hell else is going to happen. You guys are fun to visit with. We appreciate it. I know everybody's still out of sync. I really feel like next week we're all going to get back in sync on the days and the days of the week. I hear it's Thursday. I have no real confirmation on that. So you guys know what to do. Share this. Invite people in. We'll see you tomorrow in the morning on the website, theraiderland.com.